You know what I really like? During university, when I have exams and I haven't worked in a month, and then I go and check my email and it says I've had a deposit in my bank account of about $500 to $1,000. That is always very lovely. And for a university student, that is actually pretty good. That's pretty much like rent money right there and utility money. So I'm going to tell you guys how you can do something like that and make even more money, hopefully, than I am. So let me start off by saying that there are so many ways that you can develop a passive income during school. Like, you can do this from your home if you really want to. But I'll start off with the one that I'm obviously most familiar with, which is YouTube. And I gave you my example already. This was, I believe this was actually a few months ago. This might have been November when no, it was December. It had to be December when I was writing exams. Well, I got a nice notification saying that $600 had been deposited into my account. And that's amazing. I hadn't worked in like a month. I hadn't thought of work or doing anything in a month. So, anyways, the very first thing you can do is obviously just make a YouTube channel about anything. Just upload anything. Like, what am I doing right here? I'm telling you guys how to make a YouTube channel, and this is gonna get views. And I'm probably not gonna monetize it yet. But this you can make money. Just upload videos about anything. It could be the worst video, but that can be monetized, and that can make you money while you sleep. That's a really good feeling. So obviously, YouTube is a good way to go. Another thing you can do is this thing called affiliate marketing, which it ties into a lot of things. Pretty much, if you have any sort of social media following, you can do affiliate marketing. So pretty much, what it is you post a link to Amazon, and if anyone clicks on your link and buys anything from Amazon from your link, then you'll get 20% commission, or I think it's 20% for Amazon. I forget, but pretty much, I picked up a few of those, and it's just an extra few dollars here or there, depending on what they buy. Again, another thing requiring social media is you can set up your own kind of mini t-shirt store where you don't have to do anything. I think it's called Zazzle or something like that. I think it's Zazzle, and it's literally, you design your own t-shirt. You don't do anything. You just post a link to your t-shirt on your social media. If someone buys it, you make money. It's really simple. Go check it out. Another way, which requires a little more, by a little more, I mean, a lot more, and is a little bit risky, but it's not really that risky. It requires a little bit more money, is the stock market, which I've invested in, and it's made me a lot of money in university. Investing is something that I think every young person should be doing, or at least should be gaining knowledge about, because it is such an important way to make money, and you can save money if you do it yourself. If you were to have an average portfolio, and a portfolio is pretty much, what you're invested in. So some people like Apple, Coke, whatever, any company, your portfolio is a collection of those companies. Now, what you do is, if you have, I'll just use a round number, $1,000, okay? If you have $1,000 and you're just in some average investment portfolio, you're just going to make 6 to 10% on top of whatever you invested. So per year, that is. So $1,000, you won't get that much, but so that's going to be $60 to $100. But let's just say you work during university and you work part-time and you're able to invest, you can make an extra $600 to $1,000 a year just by investing your money. And in the long run, that is very, very important. Some people say that you can get lucky and make more than 6 to 10% on your returns in the stock market. I don't consider that luck. I consider that research and intelligence. For example, I went through a stretch of a three-month span, actually, where I was largely invested in Apple. I'll just give you the Apple example, okay? I was invested in Apple and Nike. They were two of my largest holdings. And Apple, I bought it for $87 a share. The Canadian dollar was almost even with the American dollar. And over the course of, I think it might have been more than 3 months, actually. It was about a year I held Apple for, maybe less. I forget. But it went from $87 to $130 American. And then I sold it at $130 each share. I forget how many shares I had. I think I had like $1,000 worth of shares, something like that, around there. And then I sold those shares, and the Canadian dollar was sucking at the time. So I made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars by literally doing an hour of research and clicking a button. So Honestly, if you can invest in the stock market and you know what you're doing, it's an easy way to make money in university because you can just do it from your computer. It's really simple. So another thing you can do, which requires a lot of money, and you probably can't do it in university, you might be able to do it a little bit past university, probably a few years past university, is real estate. And this is a very good way to develop a passive income, but it does require a lot of work. And so there are a lot of ways to do this, but the most passive way is to literally, you buy a property, you get a mortgage on it. Let's just say the mortgage is $900 a month, which is super cheap. You decide to rent it out for $1,200 a month. Let's just say the house gets $100 worth of damage every month, or something goes wrong every month for $100. So you make about $200 a month, and you gain equity of the property every single month. So what happens is you keep gaining money from that property, and then you use that money to buy more properties. Eventually you keep building up more and more properties. I know a lot of guys that do this actually. So go look at the Bigger Pockets podcast. Actually, those are two very smart investors. Some of them, will just flip houses. And so what they do by flipping houses, which you can do actually at a young age, is you buy a very cheap house for like 80 grand. You barely need a mortgage. And then you fix it up. Let's just say you put $5,000, $10,000 worth of work in it. And it ends up being worth, $110,000 to $120,000. And you sell the house and you make 20 grand right there. And it's obviously a lot harder than that. The fix up takes a few months, sometimes less. It all depends, but that's another way you can go about it. Go check out the Bigger Pockets podcast. I do know a lot of people that have gone on that podcast that they own 20 or more properties at once, and they're renting them all out, and they all make money. And that's a very good way to make money if you're scared of the stock market or if you're scared of other passive income streams. Obviously, there's some other, social media stuff you can do. You can make money selling stuff if you have a big Facebook following. You can make money doing sponsored Instagram posts, like all those girls who all their poses are like, oh, I just got out of bed with my new cotton cushions or something like that. And so you can obviously do stuff like that, but that's very, very few people can do that. It's really easy actually to make your own website and blog and podcast, which I might make a tutorial for. It's really, really easy to make money from those actually, if you have a big enough following. Like right now, my podcasts, I do like one podcast a week, maybe less than one podcast a week. And that's obviously going to be a lot more when this video comes out. But I've gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of downloads from that. And I haven't even promoted that at all, really. So if podcasting is something you're interested in, you get a lot more money actually compared to YouTube. So for example, you can get $10 for every 1,000 listens on podcasts, maybe more, like $20 to $25. Meanwhile, on YouTube, for that same amount of audience, you would get $2. So it's a big difference. One other way is if you get really good at this one, you can literally just make tons and tons of money from doing this. A lot of people are fake doing this. A lot of people are real. Internet marketing is massive. I know people that have made millions of dollars by doing internet marketing. So what do I mean by that? There's a few ways. You can obviously make your own product and sell it. So the products that they usually put out actually is they'll put out courses. So for example, like what I'm doing right now on YouTube, I'm just kind of telling you guys how to make money. They'll do that, except they'll charge you $500 for a course that's 10 hours long or something like that, or 5 hours. So you get more content. They've made a lot of money, so they know more about what they're doing than I do. And so it can be worth it. Depends on what you buy. So that's what they do. They sell one of those a day, 1, 2, 3 a day. A lot of people sell a lot more than 2 or 3 a day, by the way. And you can just make millions if you're really good at that. So making your own courses about how to make money, how to do certain things. So let's just say you know a lot about, a lot about how to cook, right? You can make your own cooking course and teach people how to cook. It's something like that. And then you upload it, charge people $10, $15, $20, and people will buy it. If they if they are trusting, if you are a trustworthy person and give out free content beforehand, like giving them a taste of what the course is like, they'll buy it. So they will. It's a very, very good way to make money if you know what you're doing. So anyways, those are the basic like ways to make money in your sleep. There are other like passive income streams where you have to do a lot more work. But these are like the most passive I could think of, apart from, being part of the British monarchy or something like that. So just let me know if you have any other passive income streams that I didn't include. If you have any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want this on a podcast form, go check out the link. It'll be on iTunes somewhere. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. Go check out Jacksai, my other channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.